now I'm still having some funny little issues here. So I have gone in to record this video. Often I will just record it on QuickTime, throw it in iMovie and upload it. And that's what I was doing my best to do for the past almost 2 hours. I've been online. No, I mean, I've been on on QuickTime doing my best to do that. And I've almost recorded twice this reading, and it didn't work out. Neither of them worked out, and it's so bizarre. So I'm just guided to go live. So here we are. Thank you all of my new subscribers. I'm so very grateful for your subscriptions and for you tuning in to me and this channel. I pray and I affirm that all of the information I share here truly serves your path of spiritual growth, of sovereignty, right, and self-mastery. I'm so very grateful. I am Tuesday May Thomas, and this is your weekly tarot energy forecast. And you know what we're going to do? We're going to just skip ahead from today, from the 6th. We're going to say it's the reading for April 7th through April 14th of 2018. I am doing a special currently. If you're interested, go to my website, or go down to the Show More box rather, and send me an email. I do it through FaceTime and I use PayPal. I'm doing a special on my 30 and 45-minute readings. So thank you so much again for being here. I use the Osho Zen Tarot, and let's take a moment to close our eyes and take a deep breath in and a deep breath out. Shuffling the cards, we'll call in our angels and our guides, those divine blessed loved ones, all of those light beings who love us, who hold space for our most high, our higher selves. We call in your divine wisdom and we thank you. We thank you. Ooh, we thank you. We thank you. We pray a blessing over this reading. And I pray that I clearly communicate, I affirm that I clearly communicate all the divine messages that are given forth. And may they serve everyone who is guided to watch this video at any time and space for the highest good, and so it is. We'll call in our angels, our guides, those animal totems, all those light beings to hold space for us. And the other day on 4D Trinity, we did a meditation with our higher self where we integrated our higher self. And before we did that, we called in our angels and guides, and we imagined they sat around us in a circle. So if that resonates with you, we can imagine that our guides, our totems, all those blessed divine beings are sitting around us in a circle. Okay, so we're going to split the deck into 2, and I'm guided to take a few from each. Ooh, we had this last week, sorrow. Ooh, 2 came out, totality and consciousness. Third eye activation. From this second deck, again, I feel you're connecting with me. We are pulling 3 cards from this deck. Past lives! Okay, so this card and sorrow came up in the other times when I was just saying that I tried to do this reading, to record it a couple times. Beautiful. Creativity. Oh, so lovely. And one more. Oh, we got 2. Exhaustion and innocence. Okay, so I'm guided to shuffle again and allow either 1 or 2 poppers, or we'll pull 1 or 2 more clarifying cards. There we go. We had some poppers. Let's go ahead and grab them. Ooh, sharing and morality. 2 different sides of the story here all together. So let's go ahead and lay these out and see what's going on. Okay, so right away, remember last week, later I'll come back and I'll put a link here for last week's reading. And there was this sense of completion, of really honoring that we are moving into a different version of ourselves, that we are moving into a new part of our life, and to allow ourselves to really honor that, to really see it, to really allow who we've been to have closure, to complete. And there was a sense of writing an energy letter, which again, I'll put a link to this energy letter tool here later, where we write a letter from our higher self to the other person's higher self. And I know I've done several of those. I even did it in an email this week, where I was guided to write an email to someone that I really had some issues with. And it just never presented itself to do it in 3D timing. And I wrote the email, and then at the end, my higher self was like, don't send it. That was completely for you. That was for you to have been able to express that and allow this to be an energy letter from your higher self to their higher self. And the cool thing is that when we write an energy letter, the absolute guidance is then to fold it up, put it in an envelope, and to, without postage or address, you don't even have to write anything on the envelope, but you give it away. You put it in the mailbox and you allow it. You give it to Source. You give it to God. You give it to the Most High to work its alchemy, to work its divine healing. And psychically, on a deeper strata, the individual that you're writing the letter to, that you're sending the information to, gets it. They get it intuitively. They get what they are ready to get from it. And so that in turn creates a shift in your circumstances, creates a shift in how time-space shows up for you and how your reality begins to come to you. So all of that said, this card came up last week, and it's a card of sorrow. And this is us. It doesn't mean that you have to cry. You might cry, but this is us like just fully allowing ourselves to like look back over the last 5 years and look at what you've been through and to honor it, to see it, to bless it, to see yourself for who you've been in that version of your past life here. This is about past lives, not only all the lives that you've had. If you believe in past lives, all the incarnations you've had on this planet, but other planets, other galaxies, other cosmoses, but also all the versions of you that you've been while you've been here in this one lifetime. We always talk about the cycles, right? And there's greater cycles and there's smaller cycles. Yet there's a period when all of the Rubik's Cubes, right? When all the combinations kind of click and they fit in together, and then whoom, a vortex becomes created, which is an opportunity, which is an opening for us to move the body, the chess piece that we are, for us to be able to move ourselves into a different realization of self. It can be a deep inner strata of movement, of knowing, of a shift within. It can be physically where we're like, I'm moving to Arizona, you know, it could be, or to Alaska or Australia for that matter. But there is a recognizing of who you've been and of releasing a completion. And again, it may mean tears, but it's like, just let yourself feel into it. And the energy letters are a wonderful way because you get to express yourself perhaps in a lot of ways that you haven't felt comfortable, or you haven't felt that it has been the appropriate time and space to do that in the 3D. So this allows you to do this on a multidimensional level and really communicate your feelings as a part of you having closure of who you've been, so that you can evolve into who you're becoming. Who you're becoming. And this is really showing us that this is the way to our totality. This is the way to our peace and our well-being this week, April 7th through April 14th. This is the way that we get back to Source this week. When we fully allow ourselves to honor, right, our passage, our path, we participate in our lives, and we invite in the participation of others. Simply by the mere act of consciously saying thank you and goodbye to the versions of who you've been changes your energy. It changes your frequency. It changes you vibrationally. And so that which you draw to you, your past life crew, your past life people, and all of the power that you have harnessed through past lives that perhaps you have forgotten about, but that it's time now to remember and to reclaim by simply allowing, and also by simply acknowledging that the combination codes have clicked, the vortex is open, and we have the opportunity to move through it. And so have a new experience of life, of ourselves. It's really like life is just reflecting you. So it's about you having a different experience of you. Woo! I like that. You having a different experience of you. And you know what's right next to this totality card is creativity. Creativity. This is a card of the major arcana, just like the past lives. And then we have a card down below, the innocence card, which we'll get to in a bit. And they're all major arcanas. So imagine the trinity of past life energy, of creativity and innocence, churning energy together. You know, it's creative in you allowing yourself to be you. There's a certain amount of the ego and the mind stepping aside so that your true, authentic self can channel through, so that the veils are lifted. And like on Thursday at 4D Trinity, the live stream that I do every Thursday, I'll come back and I'll put a link here. We did a meditation where we merged with our higher self. And I love that meditation. It's so juicy. It's from a book called Spiritual Growth by Sanaya Roman. And where am I getting to? Where am I getting to? Well, it's that we allow the higher self to connect with us, and then the wisdom of the higher self guides our path. And that higher self is not afraid of the world. That higher self is not held down by stories of who it's been in the past. It's allowed itself to heal, to forgive, to complete, to close the door, so that it can realize its new vision, be recalibrated, reconnected with those divine beings that are here to serve your path, that are here to open doors for you. But it is a very creative process because you are at one with Source. You're working directly with the Most High. You are painting, or you are singing, or you are drawing, or you are dancing, you are creating whatever it is. Yet there's a part of you that's not there. And that part of you that's not there is allowing a space for the Most High Divine to flow through you, to channel through you. And this is what happens when we allow ourselves to get out of the way and allow for the divine, for our higher self to speak through us, is it leads us through a different labyrinth of the world. It leads us through different towns and cities and adventures, right? That's our adventure. That's our adventure. Very interesting what we have going on in the lower sector, because it kicks off with exhaustion. So this week, April 7th through April 14th, really being mindful. And you know, this came in the other couple of readings that didn't come through as stress. The stress card kept coming up, and we had that last week as well. So being really mindful and allowing yourself to say no thank you, allowing yourself to just say no, not to take on any more work, any more things than you need to. This is still Mercury retrograde. We're still in the period where we can sit and reflect. You have opportunities coming to you. I see these opportunities coming to you, yet it's not necessarily time to make massive agreements, to say yes, to shake hands, or to sign on the dotted line by any means. Allow yourself to reflect, to rest, to say no thank you, and to exercise having healthy boundaries. Very, very, very important to exercise your ability to speak your truth, because when we overextend our energy, we wear ourselves out. And then there's less of us here to be present in the beautiful gift, right, of the experience of living your truth, of living in your full power. And sometimes that's saying no and resting, right? Taking time out for yourself, which is so very important. So this is the theme for this next week coming on. It's a lot of fire, a lot of energy, a lot of movement, and a lot of completing with the past. And you know what? That means a lot of processing of energy. So this brings us into a state of really needing that downtime, needing to sleep well, needing to eat well, allowing ourselves to rest so that we can process multidimensionally the emotions, the mind, and whatever's going on in the physical, so that we can come back to a space of sharing, come back to a space where our energy is renewed and recalibrated, and we are a light unto ourselves, and we have more than enough, that our fountain is overflowing. And we can, with ease, share our gifts, share generosity, share in love, share in light, share with ease and grace this new vision that we got turned on to. We started getting turned on to last week, but that we are now, as we continue to complete with who we've been, with where we've been, with what has been, and just process that. Let that completion sink in. It's like then that new vision gets brighter and brighter, and we start to move through the vortex. The vortex actually moves around us. It moves through us. We have to and get to do less and less. The more we acknowledge the truth within us, and we do the little steps. We do the little steps of doing the work. then we're just creating the correct conditions within us so that the universe then begins to shift and time and space begin to move through us. Things, opportunities, gifts come to us. And this is also what I get down here, are these opportunities. So with the sharing card, yes, this is about you sharing your gifts, but I also get for this week that this is about old opportunities, old versions of who you've been are going to be given an opportunity to rise again. Maybe there's a job or a skill that you've had from the past that you are not doing now, but that you know you can do well and it's easy and it pays okay and whatnot, but you've moved on, you've moved into a different territory. What I'm getting is there's going to be opportunities that are going to match those skill sets and those, really, you have gifts in this area, but you're extending and expanding your gifts in a different way now. These opportunities are going to come forth and allow you to re-examine if you want to go back there again, if you want to. And if you do, what the guidance is saying, meditate, meditate, meditate. Tune in to your higher state of consciousness. Tune in to calibrating your third eye and your pineal gland. And later I'll come back. I have a beautiful, powerful meditation for the pineal gland activation. Man, this is such a sacred space to be in, because I feel like these opportunities that are coming, yes, are going to allow us to shine our light bright again. To maybe you used to be a singer and you haven't sang in 20 years, and then a band is going to be like, hey, would you be into doing a jazz gig every Thursday night? And you're like, oh my God, I don't know, la 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 la, you know, and you're like, would I do that? Could I, you know? This is also saying that as you consider those old jobs maybe that you used to do where you do have skills in, but you've shifted, it's saying, be mindful not to make a decision right away, because we are in retrograde and there could be some things hidden that we just don't know yet. So we want to wait until everything is as clear as it can be, and also until you really have a sense of, this fell off, of that completion, right? Of that releasing totally, so that you can come back to a space of clearly participating in your life, but allowing life to participate through you, allowing the creative energy of your higher self and divine consciousness to flow through you, so that it is with ease as you move through the vortex, as the vortex moves through you and around you, that you just are crystal clear on what your divine guidance is. And it's not even like you have to make a choice. It's like all of these opportunities that come to you are going to be asking you and inviting you to return to who you've been before, to use those skills that you've had from before, and to reunite yourself with that version of yourself. Yet, if we've done the work and we've let go, then there can be a whole new calibration and whole new version of us. And, you know, maybe what you charged 5 years ago is different what you would charge now. There's a new sense of redefining your worth, redefining the value of your time and your energy in exchange for the gifts or the talents or your time, your attention, whatever it is that you're going to be exchanging with and for and to and with who. So it's a big one. Old opportunities, things that you used to do and be, coming back, being proposed to you. You don't have to do anything. Just say, oh, thank you. Let me think about it, you know? Completing with the old, completing with those old versions of yourself. So, and all those old versions of yourself from this life and past lives, perhaps, depending on how deep that work wants to go with you. If you feel a call to the past, if you feel that, let yourself go there, right? Champagne, blessings. Nice to see you again. Thank you for joining. I really appreciate it. Yay, I'm glad this works out. Okay, I know it was spontaneous. So let's keep going though. So these old opportunities coming back, who do you want to be now? And again, you don't have to go back. Meditate. You don't have to go back to who you were. You don't have to say yes at all. And I think that's a good thing for us to know as well, is that you don't have to go back. You may run into creating pros and cons lists. What's the good, what's the bad, what's the black, what's the white. I say, you know, but there's no heart. There's no heart. And there's no third eye here. There's no vision. There's not even physical eyes. This is saying, fall into that heart space, truly, truly tap in, allow yourself to listen, to be guided by what is that guidance. What is your higher self, your higher state of consciousness? What is it asking and inviting you into? And it's reminding us to come back to not having the answers, to practicing innocence, to get into the violet flame energy. You know, I invite you to go here on YouTube, type in violet flame meditation, see if anything resonates with you. There is one video that I love. I'll put it down below because I don't think I can put a link of their thing up here. I think I can only put links of my stuff up there, but I later will put a link down. It is just the most powerful. It's a 20-minute guided meditation, and I love it. And there's this juice that's coming from that violet flame, and here it is. It's this innocence. It's like reclaiming your youth. It's letting go of all the reasons why you should be bitter and battered and hurt, and why you should still feel pain, and why that might even exhaust you and keep you running around in circles. It's just clearing all that, clearing all those veils and coming back to the moment. And this is like such a theme, right? This is all that anything really spiritual is about. It's coming back to this present moment, reclaiming our innocence. And you know, when we allow ourselves to heal, energy letter, meditation, calling them up, having a forgiveness powwow, making peace, whatever, all the ways, going to counseling, doing, you know, acupuncture, whatever it is for you. But when we heal and we complete and we say what we need to say, we express ourselves, we give ourselves the honor of letting our truth, letting our throat chakra activate and letting that truth be heard and be spoken, even if it's just in a letter, right? And a letter that actually never goes to them. If you feel you need to put a stamp on it and put their name on it, by all means, do it, right? What your guidance is. But there is a ripple effect. There is a chain reaction of healing that happens when we consciously complete. And again, this theme came up last week, so it's here again. Consciously complete. Allow those old versions of selves to be healed, those multiple, multidimensional versions of selves to be healed. And that sets off a ripple effect through all of the versions of you that have been through all of the lifetimes that you've ever been here, through all past lives, and all the versions of you that you've been in this life. And when that healing happens, we come back to a state of pure consciousness. We come back to innocence. If you have healed and forgotten all the reasons why you should be afraid of the world, you should be afraid of others, you should hold grudges against others in judgment. If you've forgotten why, because you've allowed yourself the chance to heal, you come back to innocence. You come back to this full, beautiful, sparkly version of you that holds nothing against anyone, that is just present in the moment. And that is where your point of power is. It's right here in the present moment, present, present, present. And it is so powerful and so very beautiful. I don't know if we're supposed to pull another card or not. I feel like we're good. I feel like we're good this week. Thank you so much, everyone. I really appreciate all the new subscribers. I pray and I affirm that all of the information here truly serves your higher self, your spiritual growth, and your path of sovereignty and liberation. If you're interested in joining my mailing list, go down to the Show More box and drop me an email at my website, tuesdaymay.thomas.com. And actually, no, drop me an email if you're interested in receiving a private reading. If you want to subscribe to my mailing list, go to my website and subscribe there. It's the very first page you'll see. You will receive my monthly newsletter, and you will receive a copy of my mini book, The Higher Self Blueprint of Mastery. So grateful to share this time with you. I pray you enjoy a blessed week. Namaste, everyone.